So I'm going to walk into the room, and if you just give us a little talk through
Right.
of the rooms as we enter them. So
This is the entrance area, guarded by knights of old.
I've fallen through the floor. Just
There's also a trap floor right where it was.
I'm just going to cut a hole in the floor so I can come out.
Yikes! Right. It's like magic.
Hello.
Right.
So
These
yes.
night things I made, although they probably don't look amazing, they took me sodding 3 days, and they are staying forever.
He hates them, but I really like them. I've tried sculpting in this game, and there is some brilliant sculptors. If you look around on Twitch, there's a lass called Marioli who's a brilliant sculptor. She makes a lot of animals, and it's a really hard skill in this game, if you ask me. It's not very easy, and I'm very impressed with these.
Apparently you're quite quiet.
Am I? That's probably a blessing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can whack up my volume. That's
I don't think they're talking about real life, that's for sure.
So, yeah, I love these knights personally. He made them in alpha, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So,
They started off looking very much like Morph, if you're old enough to remember what Morph is.
if you're not old
and-
enough to remember what morph is,
Get out!
you want to Google it because it was awesome, morph.
Oh, it was awesome. Show from the past. And Bill come and gave me some advice and a bit of help, and I think Spinner dropped in, and probably Saj did, and we slowly got them into these, which is better than Morph, admittedly.
Yeah, and we've got on the floor here a logo that was created by accident, wasn't it? In microvoxel form.
Yeah, Bill had something that looked really good, and he said, don't worry, I can reverse engineer it. About 3 hours later and a few tantrums later, we ended up with this, which wasn't quite the same, but still looked brilliant.
And we actually decided to, me and Blood actually are building claims together, essentially, although mine's been dismantled at the moment, but our hope is to build a whole city around the academy. And we decided to take that logo and use it as our kind of like lore theme, so like there'd be some kind of guild that used the logo, and it sort of grew. It went kind of everywhere on our claims, didn't it?
There's a lot of hidden places with this logo in various colours and
I keep
different
dropping through the
meanings.
floor. Spinner has as well. I'm going to have to make it another roll. There's something wrong with the game.
Something wrong with the game.
Yeah, I've dropped through the floor twice now. Right.
That's not good.
So yes, this is the sort of main. What would you call this room? Speech room.
Yeah, kind of. I call it churchy room. I'm obviously not very good at making names up, am I? So I just call it churchy room.
Churchy room.
Because there's one that's a little bit like... It was at one time...
Do we
dog
have
room.
the Churchill dog in the churchy room?
When
Oh
decided-
yes.
I was off for the weekend. We decided it'd be funny to stick 100 dogs in here. And I'm not lying. They were everywhere. It took me forever to get rid of them all.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was real fun.
Right, so that's this room with some really nice pillar work and.
Hey, while we're on the stream, we can show... We done a competition on here a couple of weeks back, maybe a month back. And I gave away an SC prize to whoever won it. And the guys had to find 30 hidden numbers. And there was a couple they never found. And while we're on the stream, we can show them where one is. Because it was a lovely little hidey place.
Oh yeah,
It,
they never.
it is in there! There is a tunnel in there.
Da, 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 da.
And that was one that no one found.
This is my secret sex room. I bring people here and I hug them in a special way. Yeah, just if anyone's wondering, this show is 18 plus strictly, just purely for me.
Because when Ruth forgets to be well behaved, it can go very wrong.
Yeah. So let's have a look at the wine cellar. That I love this wine cellar. It's got some really cool little features.
Hey, Mutstuna.
Hey.
Mount Stuna. Mutstuna.
Mutstunier. Mutstunier. MTSTUNR.
See, now you have to admit, that's a hard name to say.
Well,
It's not just me.
he's not got a lot of vowels in that name. To be fair, that mate.
Is that one of those headbutt names? I can't think of a name. If I headbutt the keyboard, that will do.
There we go. That's my name.
We've all been there. We've all done it. Usually drunk.
That's just wrong.
I just Blood can't hear. I've got sound effects that I can
It
play.
was tea, and there was a number down there, so you didn't get that one.
Yeah, that wine cellar was there. It's been here all the way through his build. Yeah, so this is the wine cellar. It's really lovely. Lots of bottles on shelves, and even a broken bottle with some wine spilling out, which is cool. Some awesome use of barrels on tables as well. What am I doing? I'm being nice. I said, like, when we were doing this stream idea, I said, oh, yeah, we're going to go around people's claims and we're going to fucking butcher them.
Ruin it. So you decided to do mine first.
We've got
a side party going on, if in case anyone wondered.
You're having a sword fight. That looks brilliant.
I'm just joining in. I'm basically just nurtured Belg.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
Come on! Have it!
Right.
You want some of that?
Now, are you sure you want to run around this whole claim? Because to be honest, an hour show's not enough.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to show like my favourite bits, really. So
right.
I'm just going to nip up to the throne room because.
Why don't you ask me what my favourite room is?
Why don't you tell me? Because like clearly you want the attention.
I'm a keen fan of the torture chamber and the throne room. They're probably my two favourite.
Right. So we'll go to the torture chamber first because that's on this level.
You know where it is, don't you?
I hope so.
You know this better than I do. That's why Woobe wasn't allowed to play the competition, by the way, because he actually does know every room in here.
And I actually did the practice one of the competition and found everything in seconds, didn't I?
It was really funny because you found all the obvious ones really quick, and then you were stumped, weren't you? And there was a few left, and it was like, oh no, I'm running out of time.
So this was another creation of yours from Alpha, wasn't it?
It was. That's my oldest room, technically, the torture chamber. It's what I worked on first.
You built all the rooms under an inn, wasn't it, originally?
It was. It was an inn, and there was a bar, and there was a secret door down to it. The problem with that is, everyone that comes to see my claim, as you do, go and see each other's claims, no one went behind the bar. And I was quite gutted, because I built this torture chamber, holding in the giggles for someone to find it, and in the end I had to put a giant red arrow as if to say, please look down here.
I just want to also point out that when me and Blood sort of started playing together, we went to a lot of swap meets and we went collecting templates. And Blood one day said, I've got a brilliant item for you. And he came over to my claim. He was really excited by this.
Don't tell me you're talking about the coffin.
I'm talking about the coffin. And you've never heard someone so gleeful at the idea of what they were bringing over.
This was early alpha. To be fair, our design abilities were really bad.
But and you were so happy with it.
I still am. I'll be honest with you. I still think it's an amazing coffin, as coffins go.
So, what happened was he came over to my claim and placed this coffin, and I was just immensely disappointed because this is the coffin in question. And I think I've mocked you every day since about the coffin.
Could someone please type in chat the coffin's pretty good. Just someone do it. Go on.
If we hadn't have said that was a coffin, how many people honestly would have known that this...
Well, what else would it be? It's hardly a piano, is it?
Only because it's in a torture chamber might they guess it's a coffin.
So if it had been up by a bar, they'd have gone, piano.
And aren't you a bit nice to your torture victims to actually give them a coffin? Surely you just throw them in a pit and burn them. You're actually giving them a full coffin burial.
Don't try to find reasons not to have that coffin lying around. There you go. Mitstuna, the best name ever, has said, LOL, I think it's good. I'd sleep in it.
Well...
There you go. That's all I need to know. That's all we need to know.
Well,
right, phone room. Phone room, and then one more room after that, and then we'll talk about the live show, I reckon.
Right, okay. Well, you can start talking about live show while I run up to the throne room.
After the throne room, take them up to the secret garden, because that's what we got a guildie to do. Right. The live segment... Did you know that was the 15th show?
15th?
Yeah.
I did, because they said it right at the beginning of the show, so... Yeah, I did
know that. That shocked me. I never thought we'd play this for like 15 weeks.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty impressive how long we've been
Oh, yeah,
in the
impressive.
game.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, like, if you look at... I've come from a background of many MMOs, so has Blood, and it looks like a wooden barbecue. That's what's been said. Devil Do, you are my new best friend. It looks like a wooden barbecue.
How do I get Moobot to ban? Just someone remind me.
Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, we've played a lot of MMOs between us. We both started in Ultima Online, and I must have put in about 4 years to Ultima Online. I don't know about you. You put in quite a bit of time.
Ultima Online, from start till pretty much everyone left it for Dark Ages of Camelot. That's what I did in Ultima Online.
See,
so
I went a different way. I went to Star Wars Galaxies because I was cool.
That was cool. I did miss out on that. But I'm a PvPer, and Dark Ages of Camelot just had awesome PvP, and so did Ultima Online, for anyone old enough to have played it.
So we spent a lot of time in kind of the older MMOs like those. So we've spent a lot of time in MMOs. So we're used to the buggy beta phases and building the game up. So having the opportunity to actually be in alpha and beta of this
was cool.
It's been a really nice process, and a lot of people say features aren't coming quick enough, and we will talk about that.
I am one of those people.
Don't worry.
I'd love to say I hate people like that. Can't you just understand it's alpha? But I've got to admit, you do get a little bit bored, don't you? Can't help it.
You've got to find new things to do, but those features will come. They might
definitely
take a bit longer than you want.
Yeah. This game is amazingly promising. If none of you have played it, at least check it out on YouTube and have a look around, and it will be incredible.
So yeah, I've just had a little...
And free to play. I don't know if we've mentioned that. It will be free to play. It's not currently, because you kind of, in the backworld world we're in, we have to pay to test this for them. So it's about $20, which is what's that? It's about 14 quid for us Europeans. And give it another month or two, and it should go to alpha. Open beta, one of them. And then it'll be free to play.
Yeah, and the way it's going at the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to be an open beta like other open betas. It's not going to be a complete open beta.
It's not going to be a finished game, let's put it that way. It's definitely a work in progress.
It's not going to be like other open betas where you come to the game and it's completed and it's ready to go. And it's just got bugs and like glitches and a few little patches. This game is going to be adding lots of features. They've got two really big engines that they're working with. One is Voxel Farm and the other is Storybricks, which will be coming in later. And there's a lot of information that is on the internet about both of those engines, and they will give a lot of extra features to this game.
Storybricks will be a game changer for a lot of people. I didn't play Star Wars Galaxy. I understand it was quite a big part of that. But even from that, it's advanced a lot. We're talking about having your own player-run dungeons that you can have in your claim. So people have to come and visit you and go through your portal and do what you dictate to them, which just sounds incredibly good for me.
I've just come up to your secret garden. And
hello.
I've not been here for a while. I've turned my graphics down a little bit for the stream. And I've just noticed that it looks like you've got 2 fried eggs in your water pool here.
They're ducks!
But from this angle up here, if you look on stream, it looks like someone's cracked a couple of eggs.
Man, you do know that you're going to get killed by Callie, don't you? These are her ducks. She made those ducks.
They're very sexy rubber ducks. I've never seen a rubber duck.
Yeah, come on, dig yourself out of that one. So, talking of the live stream,
yeah,
were you a little bit disappointed? Did it feel like it was 1 minute of Landmark and 59 minutes of SOE Live?
Yeah. To be fair, I am a European, and I will not be going to SOE Live because it's in America. So it's kind of cutting off your whole European audience by talking about SOE Live all through the show.
Yeah, definitely. And not only that, it's not an SOE Live show, it's a Landmark show. And I'd like to see a little bit more, especially when they said that the guys at the pre-E3 event got to run around the caves. Well, couldn't they have shown us a little video of that, maybe? All we got was 3 pictures. And we're the guys that have paid for the game and we're supporting it and, you know, we're loving it. We get 3 graphics that have already been tweeted out about a week ago. And apparently they got to run around and have a look in the depths and everything. I'd quite like to have seen that personally.
Yeah, I think everyone's very excited about caves. It's a feature that people have been excited about since they announced it, even people wanting them before they announced it. So the fact that they don't have them in game yet is probably disappointing to a lot of people, and yeah, it's creating a little bit of friction, I think, in the community.